How does LOL have permanent records in her possession, when under a right to know law request the authorities have no records?
Well, it might take me a while, but I have information on the water report.
Okay.
And the borough minutes from 1954. And they appeared before council and they mailed the Hockenberry Run packet to Harrisburg in 1954. And there was a special meeting with Guy Howe to run the survey of the borough. In November 3rd, 1954, President Howe reports the distance of 4 miles was measured from Hawkins Street at the southwest end of the street to 3rd Dam. On August the 3rd, it was moved by Bratton and second by T.C. that Kansas to accept a leased back water system. Meeting called for the purpose of adopting a resolution to approve an ordinance which gives water permission to open ditches for the purpose of laying pipes in the borough. Lucas made a motion that the lease be adopted and the operators be authorized to execute the credential for ordinance number 7. I have that here. They approved a resolution for fire hydrants. The first right-of-way was discussed was the property of the late Mike Dedorich. After a discussion, an agreement was made by Kearney Kramer between the authority and Nick Dedorich for Mike Dedorich property. It was sent for proposal to Dedorich's for approval. They had to go through all the minutes to get the water for it. And they hired a water bill collector. 58 members of the authority were presented this possibility of providing water to Coalport and Malvern for a means of increasing revenue in the department. It was agreed that the idea was worth looking into. And I don't know if they ever did. And that's all the burn. They give up having a mandatory hookup because nobody had water back then. I have a letter written by Wendy Lloyd to Harrisburg. And the articles of incorporation are here, the ordinances here, the operations agreement, the Irvona Municipal Authority hereafter called the party the first part, and the Borough of Irvona hereafter called the Borough party the second part, whereas the authority was previously acquired and constructed its water system through the issuance of a $265,000 principal amount of water revenue bonds dated November 1st, 1955, of which 99,000 are presently outstanding and where you can read all that. In order to secure payment of the bonds, the authority and the borough entered into an agreement of lease dated November 1st, covering the water system, which was duly assigned to the authority to the trustee. This agreement was in for a term of, I should have given this to you, 3 years from the date hereof and thereafter every 3 years, unless there be the party decides to terminate agreement. It shall be binding upon its successors and assigns, and the parties here too.
No, can I see that one? Can I see that last one?
You can see it all. I don't have any more copies. I have the hydrant contract. I have a letter when they wrote me. Somebody from the Perry Township on here. And they only agreed to one person.
Okay. Thank you for looking all that up.
Well, I've got it. I mean, I got copies of this stuff because I was going to put it in the book when I do the book on the water system.
Yeah. Is that all you have then?
Yeah.
Okay. Lou?
Okay, my issue is every time there is a controversy anywhere, I don't care if it's Irvona, Vicaria, Coldport, where, you're in the middle of it. I'm going to tell you that right here now.
Vision Press Production News Media was at the Irvona Borough Council meeting held 7 p.m. on March 6, 2025 in the Borough Building located at 154 Berwine Street, Irvona, Pennsylvania, 16656, United States. The presentation is the actual council meeting as it happened. Contact number by telephone for the Borough of Irvona is 814-672-4293. How does one individual have public document while the authority and borough does not have the documents that are subject to retention statute, retention and disposition schedule for records of Pennsylvania municipalities, general provisions, definitions? The following words and terms, when used in this chapter, shall have the following meanings. Act: the Municipal Records Act of January 18, 1968, PL 961, number 428. See Appendix A, Commission, the Pennsylvania Historical and Museum Commission. Committee, the Local Government Records Committee, LGRC, State Archives, the Commission's Bureau of the Pennsylvania State Archives. Reiterate the question, how does LOL have permanent records in her possession, when under a right to know law request the authorities have no records?
The things you can go into executive sessions for.
Mark, hey, how are you?
Good Mark.
She sent me the code.
Did you have yourself?
No, Aaron.
I would have got a ride with you.
I wish to go over there. She sent me here, but it's warmer over there. I'd have to have some help.
Do you need help? We'll help you. Need more help?
This old lady's getting older, but she's still mean.
Still sassy too, I think.
You betcha.
Rick,
Thank you, dear.
I think it's, is this your drawing?
Yep, that's mine. That's my good old Irvona water.
I got time, I guess.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For that is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Oh, you're sitting on the ground.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
A motion is made to accept the minutes of the financial report. Seconded. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Motion carried. Okay, next up, public comment. Who would like to go first?
Well, it might take me a while, but I have information on the water report
Okay.
and the borough minutes from 1954. And they appeared before council and they mailed the Cottonberry Run packet to Harrisburg in 1954. There was a special meeting with Guy Howe to run the survey of the borough. In November 3rd, 1954, President Howe reports the distance of 4 miles was measured from Hawkins Street at the southwest end of the street to 3rd Dam. On August the 3rd, it was moved by Bratton and second by T.C. Ibcm to accept the leased back water system. Meeting called for the purpose of adopting a resolution to approve an ordinance which gives water permission to open ditches for the purpose of laying pipe in the borough. Lucas made a motion that the lease be adopted and the offer be authorized to execute the credential for ordinance number 7. I have that here. They approved a resolution for fire hydrants. The first right-of-way was discussed was the property of the late Mike DeDorich. After discussion, an agreement was made by Attorney Kramer between the authority and Nick DeDorich for Mike DeDorich's property. It was sent with approval to DeDorich's for approval. They had to go through all the minutes to get the water authority minutes. And they hired a water bill collector. 58 members of the authority were presented this possibility of providing water to Colport and Lowver for a means of increasing revenue into the department. It was agreed that the idea was worth looking into. And I don't know if they ever did. And that's all the burn. They give up having a mandatory hookup because nobody had water back then. I have a letter written by Wendell Lloyd to Harrisburg. And the articles of incorporation are here, the ordinances here, the operation agreement, the Irvona Municipal Authority hereafter called the party of the first part, and the Borough of Irvona hereafter called the Borough party of the second part, whereas the authority was previously acquired and constructed its water system through the issuance of a $265,000 principal amount of water revenue bonds dated November 1st, 1955, of which 99,000 are presently outstanding and where I'm not going to read all that. In order to secure payment of the bonds, the authority and the borough entered into an agreement of lease dated November 1st, covering the water system, which was duly assigned to the authority to the trustee. This agreement was in for a term of, I should have given it to you, 3 years from the date hereof and thereafter every 3 years, unless there be the party besides the terminate agreement. It shall be binding upon its successors and assigns, and the parties here too.
Oh, can I see
So
that
there
one?
you go.
Can I see that last one?
This is all. I don't have any more copies. I have the hydrant contract, I have a letter when they wrote me, somebody from the Perry Township on here, and they only agreed to one person.
Okay. Thank you for looking all that up.
Oh, I got it. I mean, I've got copies of this stuff because I was going to put it in the book when I do the book on the water system.
Yeah. Is that all you have then?
Yeah.
Lou?
Been dealing with some plowing issues this winter. The end of Falk Street that comes down between me and my rental properties. A lot of times it's really slick. Sometimes Tommy Chuck is plowing up with his 4-wheeler. Just so that it's plowed so that his dad can get out to his appointments. And then that alleyway there that has been, I don't know their names, but they have Dick Holz's place. And then Terry Lender's, Mrs. Amy's, and my garage is all set on that alley. Last 3 storms, hasn't been touched. Then it turned into a sheet of ice. So if somebody was coming down, you know, we'll just say I was working, one of me or Terry was out working in the garage, got hurt, they needed an ambulance in there, it might have been sitting down against that piece of equipment in the village.
Okay. Yes, Dave.
Can I talk?
Yeah.
Jerry, make sure you're watching. I agree, and I disagree with you. We did our best this year. It's been a cold, long winter. And Amanda, no offense, we've had 4 streets all winter. We salt, we anti-skid. I appreciate everybody becomes plow people. We've salted, we anti-skid. I have messages. Chip personally got a hold of me. I went down on a weekend and I've done it. You cannot go out and plow the streets an hour after we put salt down. So, and I talked to Terry Lender. He said he'd come down, we took care of it when he called, and I agree, it did get icy at times. I'm sure 500,000 other streets did too. We did our best, so that's all I've got to say. What I would do is pass something when we're out salting. If somebody's out plowing across the roads after we salt them, somebody wrecks, and we get a video of them, have them liable. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, plowing salt off the road.
You
If it has
cannot,
a chance to work, doesn't.
and like I said, I'm not taking away from people trying to help, and we did everything we could to be up there, because we know Tom went on dialysis. And I know the people that live there, and they thanked me, I got personal messages. You made it sound worse than what it was. The alleys did get icy, they're dirt. When it freezes, as cold as it's been, there's nothing we can do. We've actually put ashes on them this year, because the anti-skid did nothing.
I was gonna ask that, could we allowed to put coal ashes on them? Yeah, I think that would work.
Trust me,
Yeah,
numerous
we've
times
done
I
that,
wanted to walk
done
away
that.
this year. But we did the best we could.
Dave messaged me one time there and asked what my opinion was on ashes, and I told him do it. He
Yeah.
said whatever.
It was a rough, long winter. And I appreciate you coming here, because most people just go run their mouth. And I'll shake your hand for coming. So, but, and on that, get a hold of somebody, get a hold of us if it gets worse, you know.
I know I called Chip the one day there.
Yeah, we went out.
You got ahold of me and
I didn't personally go down.
Yeah, I think
And that's there are people, like, you need to understand, we have a young kid helping and a full-time worker helping. It comes down and works night shift. It's hard, you know.
Oh, I know it's hard.
And like I said, I respect you for coming, but I do want to get that out, because this was one of my issues tonight, was there's 3 streets, and one of them's a young kid, and I'm not complaining. The kid's trying, he's trying to help, but you cannot plow the salt and anti-skid off an hour after we put it down. And then when people are plowing and they shovel the stuff off their sidewalks onto the road, I'm not gonna come down every 2 hours and plow the road off.
Right.
You know, it's something you need to take up with your neighbors, you know? It becomes a personal issue. I hate to cause a conflict, but if you're taking care of yours and we're taking care of it, if your neighbor comes out and shovels his car off onto the road, give him hell, you know?
Yeah.
But that is a pain right there. I agree with you. Like I said, I respect you for coming down.
I don't know what it is about that street. I know it's a dead-end street, and I know it's a pain in the neck,
It
especially the
is.
salt man and skid,
Yeah.
because you kinda gotta turn around and back down it to do it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, like it
sometimes that street just gets.
And every time it starts to melt, it all runs downhill.
It does.
And then it pulls at night and it gets cold again.
And everybody in this
it freezes
room will agree, how long has it been since we had a winter like this?
It's been a while.
Yeah, it's, trust me, I was stressed to the max this year.
remember that night me and you went.
Yeah, yeah.
You were the lights. And I
again.
was
Yeah,
up.
it's on
No,
that one.
I agree with down. That's what, I respect you for coming to
I was
me.
plowing. He was the lights.
Yeah, I'm glad I put the offer light on at that time.
Should we,
And, I agree.
Yeah,
Somebody
let's-
plowing it off right after.
It does,
you-
it does, and they're helping, but it's just, it's a conflict thing.
Well,
It
if
is
you do
hard.
that,
Then the state comes right
an
there. And
overwhelming
it's,
amount.
you know, they plow it off right after we
Problem is
clear
you have to
it.
be careful.
It is, I understand what you're
Sorry,
saying.
it's-
We do know what
Trust
they
me,
calls
those
run
are
out,
so metal.
it's
broken
We
glass.
got the coal ashes we knew didn't have nails.
Yeah, well, like in the deal, that's a big problem.
Yeah.
Where'd you get your coal ashes?
Deedle.
I was gonna say, Ian, I don't think you did.
Deedle and the fire hall, I know they don't have nothing, they burn cool wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We just didn't get them from anybody.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you can.
Because the last thing I wanted was everybody coming to meetings saying they wanted new tires.
They wouldn't need tired.
And we didn't use as much as what you think either, you know. We just- When that ice came, it did help out.
Hemming Street Extension, I'll pass my house, it was
You
really
could
bad
see
this year.
where it always looked like Terry.
Fortunately, I brought that whole
Well, I sent it out. He did.
I thought we're driving,
Then he
never
went
would
over.
get it out of my house.
It's just, once the dirt alleys freeze, I mean, it's,
Yeah.
It pounds in.
we used,
Well,
We
we
used-
used, if you can't get it off.
yeah, we used over 100 ton of granite skid this year. Well, I just got the third load down there, but we already had, you know, we used every resource we
Well, I
had.
know my boy works for PennDOT, they were hauling it from different stockpiles, other stockpiles, because they ran out. I know
And the
that.
potholes, I mean, it's not just our, I'll just get that off my chest, you know? It's
I
every.
know for a fact potholes aren't just Irvona. The 53 the whole way from here to Asheville sucks anymore.
It's rough. We had a long winter.
Anything else, Lou?
No,
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, we'll keep up on it as best as we can. We have had more ice this winter than probably the previous 10.
Well, and like they were saying, the bad thing was, we would get the snow and everything, that would warm up.
Yeah.
Everything would start melting, and that night it dropped down in the teens, and then everything froze.
Well, they say the nuisance snows like that are worse on the salt,
Yeah.
because it just a couple inches.
We don't have much in the shed, I can tell you that much.
It's gonna be
And man, I wasn't
60
saying
degrees
for
next
not to
week.
do it.
I can't wait.
I don't know what he plowed, I just had to plow down his driveway.
Any other public comments?
Mr. President,
Yes, sir.
Vision Press Production News Media thanks you for the privilege to film your meeting, and I just wanted to follow up on that. Either you're going to take that pipe out or put a pipe in.
We agreed to supply the pipe for you.
I just don't want to be liable for that.
I can't see you being liable for runoff from another property. I mean, that'd be no different than this water running off a.
That's what
hill
we
down
talked
the road.
about it.
If I get, I would like a release that it's the responsibility of, I don't mind putting it in, it's not that hard. And I have some help that is professional that can help me put the pipe in. But you'll need a collar, I think, for that to butt up against it. I appreciate, but I would like that assigned release that I'm not responsible, because I am responsible if it goes out of my property by law.
Yeah.
So if you'll take that liability, then
Yeah, we'll have the solicitor draw it up.
I appreciate that. Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome, Jerry. Okay. There's no more public,
Can I
okay?
ask Jerry a question?
Yes.
Where's Coldport stand?
Nobody. They have a receiver who does not hold any meetings at all. And I have a right to know request in twice, and he's denied that. So now, within 15 days, I can appeal it. So I'm going to appeal it. The receiver is responsible to serve right to know requests. I mean, he is to address those, and he's, by court order, he is to do the business of the day.
Is there still a chance of McCary taking it, or?
I don't think that would be, you would have to go before the people. It'd have to be on the ballot. And both entities would have to vote yes for that. I think there's some people that want to go on. They just wanted to see the pseudo secretary gone. And they're afraid of the liability of what she did not do. I know for a fact that she hasn't kept up with the
Jerry, we are not gonna sit here and
Yes.
belittle people at our meeting.
I agree,
Okay,
I agree,
we're not gonna go there.
the fact is, the matter is that there was not a closeout on some of the grants.
Okay, all right, we'll leave it at that.
The Gulfport doesn't have any more meetings because Jerry ruined it for the people that went to the meetings. They couldn't take up the change the shit.
Right.
All right, if we're done with
I just
public
asked a simple
comments.
Thank you, Mr. President.
You're welcome. Let's move on to the committee reports. Too early for you to have anything.
We just down in our Easter egg when we do, and
I guess we need to break this color.
Do you have a date for that?
the what?
Do you have a date for the Easter egg?
Oh, we don't do the Easter egg
Oh,
hunt.
the fire hall does it?
The church does.
Church does it?
I don't know if the church does anything for that.
Easter's late. It's at the end of April.
Yeah, it's real late this year.
No, I know there's nothing with the lighting. I mean, the lights are down. That's all cleaned up now.
Recreation authority, I'm not in it, but I saw they had signups. So I'd say ball season's getting ready to kick off.
Yeah, I won't be long now.
They still do that here?
I think we
Oh,
discussed it, maybe.
It's here in the fire hall.
I'm
not sure. Well, let's see.
Yeah, maybe. We talked to the rec because the one at Mill Valley and Irvona are still having it on the same day as ours. So we don't know what to do.
Looks like you're up there, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. I just got a couple of things here. Number one, Davey, I didn't know stuff was gonna be brought up today, but hey, us as council, I've seen you out, thank you for doing one hell of a job this winter. I mean, I've seen this guy out at 1 o'clock in the morning plowing snow. Do you ever sleep?
No.
And, I think you're doing one hell of a job.
Hey, we're trying.
I mean, I know the borough that I came from in Johnstown, you're not gonna keep everybody happy. I'm sorry. But you can only do what you do, because you're only limited, you can only be in that truck for 12 hours and with an 8-hour rest, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, thank you and your guys for trying to keep the roads open. So, you know, it's an unappreciated job, especially in the winter time. Because they expect you to be out there as soon as the snow falls and be out there all day. But thanks again, bud.
Oh, you're welcome.
Fire company is having their meatball sub and Sloppy Joe sale this Saturday at the fire hall. The bread truck operated by George Korinchik will be in Irvona Friday and Saturday at the old Johnston Garage on 53 from 3 to either he sells out or dark. So, and this one's a big topic with me. It's already March, and you know what next month is, don't you?
April Fools.
No, Jerry. Yeah. You're right, though, Jerry.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
But here in Irvona, it's going to start raining. And every year we have flooding issues in April. So, Mark and Davey and the fire company, as always, you got to start watching that weather. I mean, it's, you know, how fast it can turn, you know, with this rain and everything. And Mark, have we heard anything on that pump from last year?
No, I haven't heard anything. I've contacted the office a few times, but haven't heard anything back.
Okay. Where did we get our pump last year, Amber?
Reed Brothers.
Reed Brothers. How about, we have a good repertoire with them, right?
Oh.
Because of what happened last year, remember it was at the last minute and the pumps were going. So let's, you know,
But I will say, Davey and those guys have got both pumps.
Yeah.
Both pumps that were downstairs running good.
okay.
So, and they're both 3-inch pumps.
Mm-hmm.
Right there's 2 3-inch pumps, and we only used one of them for last time whenever we pumped.
With that 4-inch pump, yeah.
Yeah. So I would say, with what the information that we've learned just recently, we learned a little bit better about how to pump that out, didn't we? And, with the 3-inch pumps we have, plus what the fire company had, like we did the last time, I think we'll be fine, I really do.
Didn't you get the pumps down at the surplus down in Harrisburg?
The 2 that were down in the basement, yes.
Maybe they could get more.
I've been going on the site and checking,
Okay.
and they don't have
They
any.
don't, not giving away any.
No, because I registered and they actually send me emails and stuff now.
Okay. Yeah, that's one way.
I had an email last month, they had a bunch of body bags they were trying to sell.
But I did
I get all kinds of weird stuff that they're selling down there now.
I did just
Oh, yeah.
remember this.
It sounds
That one
like
kid that
something
runs the
like this
Cookport and Irvona that has the store in Janesville. What's the names?
Oh,
Rachel and,
It has the bounce houses and stuff.
Parker?
yeah,
Parker's.
Yeah, down
He is in with Westover, and he can get a pull behind 6-inch pump that Westover has. He actually brought it up last year that we already had a pump down.
Oh, that's right.
And the way he talked, he did talk to Terry about that being something he could get pretty, on the
On the
spot.
spot if we need it ASAP. I just rather have
Oh, yeah.
more than enough than not enough.
Yeah.
I mean, last year, the fire company, they did an awesome job at keeping that contained in that pond compared to many years,
Well, I also talked to Don McCauley, and we've been screwing up where we're throwing the sump hoses in. We need to close that.
Okay.
Because those flaps
Yeah.
on the outlet to the creek do have a gap on the bottom, and it will draw water back through. So you're pumping water, you're sucking out of the pond, but you're drawing water back through the pipe.
Defeat the purpose.
So, and I asked Don why, he wanted to come tell us that, and he just laughed, But, he's like, yeah, he said, you need to close that, and it'll help a lot. He said, with the pumps you had, you should have pumped that dry.
Okay.
and we didn't know that at the time, and I just assumed that it closed completely down at the creek whenever it was closed, but it doesn't. And since he found that out, that's gonna help us a lot.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity, would it be any benefit to clean that out and maybe
Well,
make it a little deeper so that
We've
it would
been
hold
trying
more?
to get that in the works.
Yeah, working on a grant to get that dredged, yeah, it needs dredged.
Yeah,
Because you can drop it
It's
on
been for
2
20,
feet in there.
25 years probably.
There's 2 feet of sediment in the bottom.
It's
of that.
been a minute.
Yeah.
I remember when
I
last
was
time we
saying-
did it.
That's been
Been
20,
for a long time.
23 years since it was cleaned the last time.
I remember when they cleaned that. They took a lot of sediment and silt out of there then.
Yeah, that was, deals.
Yeah.
And Amber, when's the inspection? This by the Army Corps of Engineers this year? Because last year was DEP, correct?
Usually in June, but I haven't got an email yet.
And one more other thing, Mark. Have we run a dry run on those railings that DEP asks us to do once a year?
No, we were talking about that, Davey and I were talking about that today.
Okay.
I talked to Terry about it today too.
Okay, because if we're gonna do that, we're gonna have to have the county
That's
shut
what
down
I
that
was
road.
gonna ask, like, do you have to get PennDOT and all notified, or?
Right, yeah, they have to notify Clearfield, and the fire company will shut down the road. They just gotta notify Clearfield that that road shut down for an hour, and because that was DEP's one thing, they want a dry run just to make sure. Okay.
And now that we have the tractor,
It's a lot easier to pull them out.
to pull them out, you can pull in there, back in there with the hoe, and you can hook the hoe and pull them sideways out, as opposed to trying to get a skid steer in there as you're building the wall that's in the way then.
Yeah, good thinking.
Yeah.
I'd also like to get Dixon Precast involved too, because they have them high lifts.
Yeah.
They're right there. If something happened, we don't get a piece of equipment right there right away. And he said he's all up for that, to have access, make sure somebody has access to one of these high lifts. You're right there, you're not running on them. Not throwing you under the bus, but just, for emergency purposes.
We'll do it.
Okay. Maintenance report, you're up, Dave?
I have one. I want to thank Lou for actually coming to a meeting. That lets us know we have some blind spots we gotta work on. That's a big one, I respect that. I'm not gonna use names, but I just wanna say, I don't know if anybody watches the meetings, but Bert and I and Logan, we've been getting jumped constantly.
We got
You've seen
jumped.
it firsthand,
We
you're the
got jumped
president.
the other night.
We can't do nothing as workers when we're out working. You can flip out on us, you can call our parents names. You gotta come here and voice your opinion. Coming to me on the side of the street, you give me an opinion, I'm gonna give you an honest answer. You
Absolutely.
might get me fired, might not, you might hate me, but I'm gonna tell you how I feel. Everybody knows me. So, if you just pass the word, like, just 2 days ago, there were supposed to be 3 people here. One was gonna run for the mayor, and the other one was gonna be the president. They're not here. They never come. And coming
All
to us,
talk, Davey, all talk,
coming to
buddy.
us while we're out working, I'm gonna tell you how I feel.
Now, we're
So, I'm just giving you a fair
warning.
warning. We've been closing doors on equipment in people's faces, because all we are is workers. We're peons. If you want us to start bringing you names and addresses, I will. But I wanna know, if we have repeat people, can we press harassment charges? Because I've had enough of a few of them.
Well, there is a law for harassment of
It's repeat,
utility workers.
and it's getting old.
There is a law.
That ditch collapsed, the road collapsed
Yeah.
behind Jerry Knowles.
And that's one of them.
And we had a resident come up, and first thing out of his mouth, he's threatening us. Okay, it's the middle of a rainstorm, we're trying to close the road. We don't need to go up there and start yelling at us. Come to the meeting. Yes, sir.
Mr. President, do you have an official complaint form that anybody, he could just hand it to the person and they could file it with the
Yeah,
borough?
they actually have to come to the meeting.
Oh,
That's the West we take
Colport,
complaints.
Colport always had a complaint form so that they couldn't bother the personnel.
Well, the reason why we don't have complaint forms, Jerry, because if we did, there would be 50,000 of them. Okay? 50,000. And with our council is, and Davey, you're absolutely, with our council, you run your mouth, be a man or a woman, come to a borough meeting. You know, that's the way we feel. I'm the type of person, when I get stopped on the road, I get told this, I get told, hey, I want to say something, but don't mention my name. Don't tell me then. That's what I tell them. Don't tell me, because when I go to a council meeting, I'm going to mention your name. So if you tell me don't mention your name, I'm not going to bring it up. Come to a meeting, plain and simple. So.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Yep.
But anyways, aside of all that, we are gonna need a harness for the dump truck, for the plow. And I talked to numerous other guys, call Lee Luther, they said they get one every 2 years, you know. We got a burn, what's that? Yeah, well, they're just loose, and we had a heck of a time the last 2 storms.
Why don't we just get that replaced?
Yes, I told him.
Yeah, I called a place in DuBois, they have them. I think it was, depending on what we need, I didn't really venture into it yet. I think we just need the truck side of it, you know, I guess you'd call it the female end of it. And he said the price varies. If we get the whole bag, I think it's around $200.
If you, I mean, you might as well just do the whole thing.
Yeah, so we have. And if we gotta use the female end, you know, we can always, because they're 2 separate harnesses.
Yeah, just do it.
That's the biggest thing. Other than that, I did have a couple questions. Oh, the pipe at Kitchens on Emma Street, it's a half a pipe flow now. So I am gonna call Ecken Road to see when he can get here, because he did sort of promise. If not, do I have the okay, just go start digging, open up whatever we have to. I mean, we gotta get that fixed.
Yep.
You know? And then we are gonna be doing some work for IMA, you know, a couple of us. Is it all right if I use my part-time workers, or is it just me that was approved?
Use your part-time.
I mean, the IMA's paying you, it'll be up to the IMA.
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering about, like,
What's it for, Davey?
for digging water lines. Fix the leaks.
There's a leak in, what's the
There's
name
2
of it?
leaks.
Yeah, what's the name of that alley?
It's on Emma Street, there behind Mary Miles'.
It's in that alley.
Ian's on the alley.
One used, I don't know who lives up there now, we used to go to work there.
Yeah, I don't know what the name of that is.
Yeah, I just know who used to live there 20 years ago.
Williams Alley?
It might be, yeah.
Yeah, well,
We think we have the leak pretty much located.
You just don't know what you're gonna run into once you open the ground up, right?
Well, I'm hoping it's just a Sabbath.
What I would do, Davey, is I would get with the IMA board, ask them like what they, you know, what you just said, you don't know what you're gonna get into, just don't make a promise, say it's just gonna be me.
Yeah.
I leave it open to see what you're getting into, that way you can bring your crew in from us.
Because Logan's actually off next week, and he'd be a good helping hand, considering it'd be just me and Zach. the bird's only here for a few hours.
Right.
You know, you get in the water leak, you might be there for, you don't know what you're getting into.
Right.
And he can run all the equipment, so it'd be nice to have that extra hand there.
You're going that Monday, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a damn shame we lost our water authority members.
But, I'm hoping and praying on a couple hour jobs.
Yeah, like, you know what happens when you start
Well, I'm
doing
usually,
something.
we're hoping on that.
Until you take like the first 3 buckets, just want to
Well,
start
that's one.
shooting
I think
straight up out of
They
it.
call it, but, other than that, they look pretty good. We're gonna be ordering coal patch, so you obviously know that.
It's a family tradition.
What's the chances on seeing how good of a deal we can get on those barriers Dixon has, or Jersey barriers, or the amount of loss of coal patch I cleaned up and hauled out that was 4 foot thick, that was 30 years old. If we could just put some barriers up to keep it secured to where you're scooping into it.
It's a good idea.
You know, and operating is the biggest part, you know, you can't get into the middle of the pile, push it from here to.
Do you know what he sells them for?
Right now, we're working on the club for that deal, the Jack Daniels. It's pretty reasonable if we could get them about that price. I don't want to throw a number out there on camera.
Well, at work, we buy them off from Marion Center Supply for $70 a piece.
Well, that's cheap, I'd go for it.
Yeah.
But I would say even if we had, if we held just enough for the sides and the back to push into to help salvage money, or salvage money in the long run, like we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you push that coal patch off in the dirt and it's junk.
It's junk, and that's what people don't realize. Yeah, you can reuse it, put it in a pile, but you mix all the debris in it, and it just crumbles when you put it down. The cleaner you keep it, the better.
Yeah. Longer it's gonna last.
I mean, for, you know, we could take some measurements and get a little chip or something, get a hold of everybody. And,
Maybe a concrete pad that you put down.
well, I'd like to do concrete later, or
Yeah,
something.
the pad would be nice, that way you're just scraping, you're not gonna get any dirt.
Yeah.
You're definitely gonna need 20 by 20 pad
Here's
at
my
least, I would
thing, is
say.
if you're gonna do it, Davey, if you're gonna do it, you might as well do it right.
We get the figures, that's,
Yep.
I agree 100%.
Yes.
If we have equipment, we could dig it and.
Oh, yeah, there would be no, it'd just be our labor.
And that would be,
Preparing it.
that would
We
be,
can
would
do
be
the
anything
concrete
float.
too.
Bring it in, you're done.
Yeah.
Tub told me I could use any of this concrete stuff he needs, bowl float, whatever, so.
Yeah. Yeah, get a price on the concrete. Probably gonna do what, 4 inch thick probably, right?
Well, you can run that equipment on there at least, yeah, with rebar wire, you know.
Running equipment on it, you might want to go 6.
Yeah, 6
So it
won't
doesn't
hurt.
break up.
If we're gonna, if he's gonna put, I'd rather have it done right, not half it.
Yeah. Yeah, I it's done one time and done, one and done.
Yep.
It's definitely gonna pay off.
Yeah, get some prices.
See if Grants can give you a good price on concrete he's pouring for.
Yeah.
That's about it, I guess.
Okay. If you're done, correspondence. That was easy. Old business. Okay. New business.
I got an email stating, I guess it was correspondence, I guess, or whatever. About a cleanup day, like, kinda like how we did like the fall cleanup day. So, Dave, would you be interested in setting up something like that this year, or waiting for
Yes,
fall?
but in the years past, it was what, tires and appliances, right? Last year, we took trash and it got pretty nasty.
Yeah, it's supposed to just be tires and appliances.
I just want to clarify that.
I know Clearfield just said theirs on the Gantt. They're taking appliances, tires, like 4 per resident. They're taking computer towers only, no other electronics. And, they were taking couches and, chairs.
We can definitely limit.
Yeah, limit, because last year got pretty
But we just have to have a
raunchy.
list.
I mean,
Here's my question, is when we get that dumpster, I don't want to, my question, is someone gonna be there to monitor who's bringing what? Because if we have it put there the night before, it's gonna throw garbage in, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'd rather have it like delivered about 8, 9 o'clock. And if one of us have to stand there and watch people throw stuff in and say, you know, because what's gonna happen, and then after that, can we have the dumpster removed that same day? Because if not, even if we get one with a lid on it, you're gonna have people throwing junk on the outside of it, and then we're gonna be responsible for cleaning it up. I'm just thinking of all the protocols and all the headaches, like you said, they have garbage and everything else.
If your Reading Clearfield has anyone caught there before or after, will be cited for illegal dumping.
Okay.
They do that down at the, they have the Fairleigh Industrial, not the Industrial Park, the, fairgrounds, I guess that's where they do that.
And does Bucarian Township, like, not wanna do that? Thing is, they do that together, right, in the past?
Used to be Colport and Cary and
And last
Irvona.
year, everybody sort of did their own thing, and is that something that they just
So
did?
we did the same time as Vicaria last year, didn't
When
we?
they had a 2 day.
What happened was,
Okay.
something about, it was kinda late in the last minute throw together. We didn't have a whole lot of advance notice and everybody just sort of went on their own. But the nice thing was, it used to be, cause I used to help every now and then. You had, and that way it gave guys a break, you know, if one guy wanted to go for lunch, you still had somebody either from Colport, Vicaria, or Irvona. It was just a nice, and the guys all worked together, joked around, had a good time, you know. But somebody has to be there to record the tires.
Yeah. Maybe we can get with Vicaria Township before this.
Or either, or if they want to.
Just see if we
that's
wanna do it the
fine.
same day.
And can we use the dump trailer from IMA again, cause that worked out awesome for the tires.
I don't have a problem with that.
Are you sure they're taking tires? I think Bucarian said in one of their meetings that they weren't taking tires this
They
year.
didn't take tires last year.
Oh, was that last
I
year?
think it was last year, but I think they
tires last
Yeah, we did, they still take them.
Yeah, I think they're taking them this year. Pretty sure that's what Clearfield was doing, they're part of
That's
that.
the biggest thing of it right there.
The refuge
tires.
authority there. Yeah. That decreased the mosquito population too.
I think we took over 200 of them. I have the papers for that downstairs if you ever want.
I'm ready
On that
for-
same topic with the cleanup day, it would be kind of nice if somebody around would do one where, like, if you have half full cans of paint from painting your house or whatever, or like some old pesticides and stuff like that, that you could take that.
That's a whole different
Yeah,
thing.
Yeah,
don't take them
because-
to landfill.
I don't know, but I know that,
There's a whole lot of
Clearfield said they
paperwork.
were not accepting paint or anything like that.
Chemicals.
Yeah.
No chemicals,
Yeah,
no
but
batteries.
I believe if you let paint dry and harden, you can put it in your dumpster.
Yes.
You take the lid off, leave it dry.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because then it's not running.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
Well, it's considered a solid waste then instead of a liquid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
DEP's out of it.
Look into that. I didn't say you could do that, just making sure.
If you could let Sandy know that I'm ready for the audit.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm ready for that. And I sent out all the spring taxes and that's in full swing right now. I didn't really put a little letter in with the taxes because I'm already busy and with the kids doing their sports and stuff, I don't know when I could be down here in the evening, so I put on the bill, either pay by check or by appointment only, so. But I did come in and stop the pay while I'm in here, so.
And didn't you call me about a couple people who didn't change their address?
Yeah, so there's a lot of people that,
That's their responsibility, not yours.
it is their responsibility, and then they, contact me, and a lot of people are very upset because their address are not changed, but all it takes is a simple phone call to the courthouse.
Yep.
And get it changed. There's a lot of those. Last year I ran into a lot of those because the previous tax collector would just send them because she had it memorized, which is great, but I didn't have it memorized and I didn't know, and I got a lot of backlash.
Well, that's the residents' fault for not changing their address, Amber, so don't worry about it.
Oh, that's pretty much all I have.
I have something for new business, maybe the, property that I made stuff. Michelle Miller,
Oh, yes.
I think we have a note on that, don't we?
Yeah, this is a subdivision for the IMA to acquire the property to put a pump house. We have to subdivide Michelle Miller's property. So we need someone to make a motion. And me and Tom will both have to abstain from this.
I think we probably should.
I'll make it.
The motion's been made.
Second.
Second. All in favor? Motion carries. Me and Tom both abstain. Okay. And where do I sign here, Tom?
It's up on the left-hand corner side there, I thought I saw a committee.
Chairman?
You have the council members or something there, yeah, is that right?
That's Clearfield County Planning Commission. Chairman and Secretary, Clearfield County Recorder's Office.
It's usually on the right-hand side.
It's not municipal official readers, that's way up.
Yes, I thought it said municipal.
Okay.
Something there. I thought I saw it.
You'll be on the right hand side.
Yeah. There was something else on it. No, I'm not too good at that.
Let's forget what it was.
That's what I put it in. I forget what I put it in.
Maybe because
That's the only that I had downstairs.
Okay.
I wouldn't,
Your engineers could survey the subdivision. Yeah, this is, well,
Yep.
this is done before I got there, so.
All right, well, with that, we're done with new business. We're up on the executive session now.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
We used to have somebody come in and clean this part of the borough building, and certain rooms at the end. I was wondering, they hired somebody to come in once a month and clean
Well, we haven't done that in a long
it.
time.
I know, it needs cleaning.
Hey, I just walked it.
Huh?
I just walked
You're
it.
trying to save money, Donna.
Well, I'm sorry, but this, you can't.
It does need a good cleaning, I agree. I agree.
Thank you, Mr.
You're
President.
welcome.
Just advertise for somebody to come in once a month and
No,
dust
no.
and mop it.
I thought I was gonna leave her in a good mood.
Okay.
Hey, you want any first-hand experiences of what I go through?
Donna, you need help? Well, honey.